Hello everyone. Before diving into today's topic, we want to take a moment to thank you for your support. Every like, comment, and subscription truly makes a difference and helps this channel grow. If you enjoy our content and don't want to miss future videos, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get all the updates. Now, try to imagine everything you know: galaxies, planets, stars, the sun, the earth, oceans, cities, trees, people, all compressed into a point smaller than the tip of a pin. A concentration of energy, heat, and density so extreme that it defies all human logic. And yet, according to our best current understanding of the universe, that's exactly how it all began, from an infinitely small, infinitely dense, and infinitely hot point. It was in that initial instant that everything originated: space, time, matter, the laws of physics. But what do we really know about that moment? And how much can we trust what we imagine? According to the Big Bang cosmological model, the universe began around 13.8 billion years ago. But be careful. It wasn't an explosion in space, as often imagined, but rather the expansion of space itself. There was no outside, no where. Space, along with time, came into being in that very instant. At the origin, it's theorized that the universe had 0 dimensions. A point with no volume but loaded with unimaginable energy. It was a singularity, a concept that emerges from general relativity, yet one that eludes the laws of physics as we know them. From that initial condition, a rapid expansion was triggered, a process that led the cosmos to evolve into its current form. Many physicists believe the early universe was contained in an infinitely small space, a true singularity. But what does that really mean? When we say the universe was smaller than a pinhead, it's easy to fall into the trap of visual imagination. We picture something tiny, but still located in some pre-existing space. In reality, that tiny thing was all there was. There was no container, no background, no setting. Just pure energy, concentrated in a point that defies all intuition. But why do we speak of an infinitely small point? It's a conclusion that comes from projecting the universe's expansion backward. If today we see galaxies moving away from each other, we can deduce that in the past they were closer. If we keep rewinding this cosmic tape, we reach a time when all distances tend to 0. This is where the idea of the initial singularity comes from. The name, Big Bang, is often misleading. It suggests a violent explosion in pre-existing space, like a bomb detonating and scattering fragments in all directions. But it wasn't like that. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space, but the beginning of the expansion of space itself. It's a subtle concept, but one that completely changes the perspective. The universe didn't expand into something. It created the very space it was expanding in. Therefore, it makes no sense to look for a point where the Big Bang happened. Every point in today's universe corresponds to a point of that primordial expansion. There's no center from which everything started. Every point is the center of the expansion. The idea that the universe is expanding isn't just a theoretical hypothesis. It's supported by extensive observational evidence. It all began with Albert Einstein, who in 1915 formulated the theory of general relativity. Initially, Einstein himself believed the universe was static, so he introduced a cosmological constant to keep it stable. Years later, he realized that intuition was incorrect. In 1927, Belgian physicist and priest Georges Lemaitre analyzed Einstein's equations in light of astronomical observations. He noticed that galaxies appeared to be moving away from one another. 2 years later, Edwin Hubble experimentally confirmed this insight. He discovered that galaxies are receding from us, and the farther they are, the faster they move away. This wasn't due to the motion of galaxies themselves, but to the expansion of space. Another key piece of evidence is the cosmic microwave background radiation, discovered in 1965. It's a thermal echo of the early universe, a faint and uniform light that permeates the cosmos. It's the leftover heat from about 380,000 years after the Big Bang, when the universe had cooled enough for light to travel freely through space. This radiation tells us that the universe was once much smaller, denser, and hotter. In 2011, another discovery shook existing models. by observing very distant supernovae, scientists realized that the universe's expansion wasn't just continuing, it was accelerating. This acceleration is attributed to a mysterious force called dark energy, about which we still know very little. Back to our initial question. How small was the universe at the beginning? To answer this, imagine compressing all the matter in the observable universe. It's worth noting that on a microscopic level, matter is mostly empty space. If we took all the atoms and compressed their nuclei by removing the space between them, all visible matter could fit into a much smaller volume. Although the diameter of the observable universe is about 93 billion light-years, its average density is extremely low, just a few atoms per cubic meter. If we compressed all this matter by eliminating the empty space between atoms, we get a sphere with a diameter of only a few hundred kilometers, comparable, for example, to the size of the Moon. And yet, the space involved at the time of the Big Bang was even smaller. In fact, during the very first instance, matter as we know it didn't exist at all. Temperatures were so high that even subatomic particles couldn't form. The universe was a soup of pure energy. In the very first fraction of a second after the Big Bang, all fundamental forces of the universe, gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear forces, were united in a single force. Then, one by one, these forces separated in a process known as symmetry breaking. Gravity was the first to emerge. Shortly after, the separation of the strong nuclear force triggered a phase called cosmic inflation, during which the universe grew exponentially in an infinitesimal time. It's important to note that all of this is the result of theoretical calculations based on highly refined mathematical models. But they're not just abstract theories. Thanks to experiments with particle accelerators like the LHC at CERN, scientists have been able to recreate the extreme conditions the universe likely had just fractions of a second after the Big Bang. These experiments show that energy can transform into matter particles, just as predicted by Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. In this way, photons, particles of light, began generating electrons, quarks, and all the particles that make up matter today. After the inflationary phase, the universe probably had dimensions comparable to those of an atom, or perhaps a tennis ball, depending on the model. This uncertainty arises because we don't know exactly how long inflation lasted or how fast it occurred. But one thing is certain. It was no longer smaller than a point, because even at that stage it had structure, dynamics, physical laws, and was evolving. The idea that the entire universe was born from an infinitely small point is fascinating, but it must be approached with caution. We can't imagine that moment as something we can picture with our eyes. It's an event that challenges our intuition, our experience, and even our language. Yet, thanks to scientific observation and the power of theory, we are slowly lifting the veil on one of the greatest mysteries of existence, the origin of everything.